He watches. He always watches. Days are spent in silence, weeks in shadows. Choosing is sacred. Once he picks, he learns their habits, their routes, their weak spots. This one, a family on a quiet suburban street. Perfect. A smiling mother who hums while she waters the garden. A cheerful father who kisses her cheek before work and laughs with his children at dinner. 2 teenagers, a boy who slams the door, a girl who dances with her headphones in. He knows the times they leave, when they sleep. He knows how the house breathes when it's quiet. He knows how they die. Or did he? It depended on how he felt at the time. If they seemed innocent, truly innocent, it would be quick. A single, clean cut. Light out. Quiet. But if they felt wrong, unclean, then the cut wouldn't be quick. Wouldn't be precise. Maybe he'd miss. Maybe he'd have to cut again and again. Maybe the light would drain from them slowly, beautifully slow. There was beauty in the struggle, in watching the mask slip. Some deaths felt like music. He sat and he watched and he waited. In his watching he learned. The household was always quiet by midnight, still, like a painting left unattended. Every night from midnight until dawn, the house belonged to silence, and so he waited for it. He waited for his time, his moment to choose how their light would go out. Midnight came. He moved quickly but with care. Move like you're meant to be there. That was one of the first techniques he learned, one of the oldest rules. Walk with purpose, never slink, never sulk. People don't notice confidence. They turn away from it. They assume they're safe. He'd used it 12 times before. It never failed. He reached the threshold of the house, the quiet little place with trimmed hedges and fairy lights still strung on the porch. He peered in through the windows, dark, still, just like always. But something was different. The father was sitting in the lazy boy lounger, eyes closed. Asleep? Yes, asleep, he thought. He watched, waited. No movement, not even a twitch. No shift in breath, no unconscious stir. Still, he was content. It was time. He moved to the front door, eyes scanning the rock garden beside it. He remembered the boy once had forgotten his key. He'd come out frustrated and taken a spare from one of the fake rocks. The killer crouched, feeling the stones, one by one. Most were real, cold, uneven, but one felt wrong. He picked it up, turned it over. Click. It split. He smiled. The key slid into the palm of his hand like it was meant to be there. He stood, inserted it into the lock, turned. The door opened without a sound. He chose. From his coat he pulled out several zip ties. Quietly, carefully, he made his way to the father. The man hadn't moved. Not even a twitch. Kneeling beside him, the killer bound his feet first. No reaction, no response. Then his hands, they were already clasped together like a prayer. Zip. Tight. The father stirred, eyes opened. Hush. Hush, the killer whispered. The father said nothing, not a word, not a sound. The killer moved to the window and drew the curtains closed. The streetlight faded. The room became theirs. You have such a beautiful, warm family, he said softly, like he meant it. He pulled a strip of duct tape from the roll and pressed it across the father's mouth. Then he stepped back, looked into the man's eyes. This was the part he loved, the moment they realized. The moment the fear began to rise, a living, breathing thing behind their eyes, terror, despair, the understanding of what was coming. But he didn't see any of that. Just blankness, stillness, like a man already gone. He paid it no mind. Sometimes men just couldn't believe this was happening to them. They were too powerful, too in control, protectors. This didn't happen to men like him. They were too aware, too vigilant. So the blackness in the father's eyes, that was denial, that's all. The fear would come. It always did. He turned towards the stairs, took each step carefully, minding the creaks, letting the silence swallow him. Upstairs was where the real fun began. He moved slowly, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Each step deliberate, each breath measured. He caressed the stairs and scanned the corridor. 4 doors. 2 were covered in stickers and posters, teenage rooms. One bore a flowery bouquet, nailed dead center. The last was blank, plain, master bedroom. That was the one. He made his way toward it, methodical and quiet. As he moved, the air seemed to change, metallic, thick. But he pushed that out of his mind, or rather, the thrill pushed it aside for him. The hunt was on. That's all that mattered now. He placed his gloved hand on the doorknob, turned. The door creaked open into pitch darkness. He crept towards the bed, one figure, a body lying still beneath the covers. The silhouette said, "Mother," on her back. Calm. He moved closer. Excitement surged in him like electricity, almost giddy. No, slow down. You get too excited, you make mistakes. His teeth were on edge, jaw tight with anticipation. Knife in hand, he reached out, placed one hand gently on the sheets covering her face, and pulled them back. He pulled the sheet back. Her eyes were open. What? There was no light in them. Just dull, glassy emptiness. He yanked the sheet off completely. Blood, a lot of it. Her throat had been cut deep and clean from ear to ear. She was already gone. Frustration surged through him, cold and sharp. No fear, no pleading, no trembling hands or whispering prayers, just waste. He turned and stormed down the hallway. First the boys' room. Stickers of skaters and baseball players on the door. He opened it. Same scene. Eyes open, throat cut, already gone. Next, the girls' room. Same. Another corpse. More silence. Not his silence. He stood there, heart pounding, not with excitement, but with rage. Wasted. Wasted time, wasted planning, wasted fear. He stormed down the stairs, fury crackling through every step. Only one member of this household remained, only one soul left to extinguish. He still sat bound and gagged, just as the killer had left him, but something had changed. The killer rounded on the father, locking eyes with him. The blankness was gone. In its place burned a fire. Not rage, not fear. Satisfaction.